What is going on, everyone? This is JGait here, and I'm back with another episode of JGait Sports Talk. Got a lot of topics to cover today, so let's get to it. First topic is, of course, the World Series. Chicago Cubs win their first championship since 1908. 108 years, man. Wow. They earned it. Team was so strong from the beginning, just unbelievable. Joe Madden guided those guys. He did it the right way. Just an awesome overall effort. I was watching last night's game, and it was intense. Indians tried to make a comeback, overcoming a 4-run deficit. Of course, that hit of Aroldis Chapman, Rajah Davis, hitting the 2-run blast off Chapman in the bottom of the eighth. Just a crazy game. I mean, it started out good on the Cubs side, but the Indians, they showed they weren't ready to give up, and neither were the Cubs. I mean, Cubs fans have waited so long for their team to win a World Series. 1969, the Black Cat. 1984, Leon Durham's error. And of course, who can forget 2003, Steve Bartman. But I gotta say, for Steve Bartman, that was not his fault, and he should not have gotten all that criticism and the hate. He didn't deserve any of that. And to anybody who says that, oh, we're gonna forgive Steve Bartman for what he did, Cubs win, it's over with. I mean, no, he should not be forgiven. Because you know what? Bartman has nothing to be sorry for. Because I'm sure if you had been sitting where Steve Bartman had been sitting and Moises Alou was trying to grab the ball, I'm sure a lot of you would have been trying to do the same thing. If I was sitting there, I probably would have done it. But I think Bartman, we know that, he's declined interviews and appearances, but I think he should make just one appearance, just to satisfy everyone. I mean, he should come out of witness protection. I mean, it's over with. The Cubs won. Everyone's happy. And another great interesting thing about that game, David Ross hit that blast. It was his last game ever. What a way to go out. Gotta give a lot of credit to that guy. And I also have respect for the Indians and Terry Francona. They played a great season, and there's always next year. Now, don't worry, Cleveland fans. Eventually, the curse of Rocky Colavito will be lifted. I know it will. All right, moving on. We're moving on to NBA. Last night, the Knicks played the Rockets. Rockets beat the Knicks 118-99. James Harden, he was all over the place. 30 points, 15 assists. That guy's just been phenomenal overall. Looks like he's on track to having another great year. The Knicks, we didn't really put up any good numbers. Or Carmelo, just 21 points. Derrick Rose, Courtney Lee, 16 points each. So far, the Knicks are 1-3. But they just gotta. I can see that the chemistry is still not there. but eventually it they'll start getting known. They'll start getting used to each other, and they'll start to play better. So we'll see how the season progresses. And since I'm wearing a Nets shirt, I'll talk about the Nets. Nets beat the Pistons last night, 109 to 101. Brook Lopez was the star of that game, 34 points, 11 assists. And Jeremy Lin, first game as a Net, 21 points. Now I gotta say about Jeremy Lin, when he was on the Knicks and that whole Linsanity thing was going on, I was saying to myself, I am damn proud to have the name Jeremy. True statement. Alright, now, before I continue, I would like to give a salute to one of the game's greats, Ray Allen, who has decided to hang up his shoes. What a phenomenal career. What a phenomenal man. He played for a long career. He played for the Bucks, Supersonics, Celtics, and the Heat. He won a championship. He won 2 championships with the Heat and the Celtics. And of course, some of you know him as Jesus Shuttlesworth in the Spike Lee movie He Got Game. Phenomenal basketball player. He retires as probably the greatest three-point shooter to ever play the game. Next in line is Stephen Curry because he took tips from Allen. So to Ray Allen, I salute you. It's the end of the 3 era in the Boston. Kevin Garnett retired earlier this year, and Paul Pierce, this is his last season playing, and afterwards he's gonna retire as a Celtic. Just peace out, Allen. Okay, moving on, we got Thunder and the Clippers. Close game. Thunder won 85-83. They advanced to 4-0 in the season. My man Russell Westbrook, he stepped in great as his new role as team leader. 35 points. And after KD left, he's really stepped up his game, and I admire him for that. And to all the reporters who keep hounding him about Durant, stop it, because it's tiring. And that's you're just heckling him for no apparent reason whatsoever. And it's not right. Okay, moving on to football, NFL. We're going to be talking about the Jets, the Browns. Jets won a close one, 31-28 against the Browns. The Browns scored early against Fitzpatrick, but by second half of the game, we started coming back, and we just dominated. Fitzpatrick was 16-34 in passes for 220 yards, 1 touchdown. And, it was a close game overall. Honestly, when I was watching, I thought the Browns were going to get their first win of the season. Now, even though I feel sorry for the Browns, I was skeptic about how the Jets would play. Regarding Fitzpatrick's play over the last couple games, not counting last week's game. mean, but the Browns, they still have a lot of work to do. But this game showed some improvement. I mean the Browns last second 2-point conversion, which they got, but it was too late for that. And they need a doable quarterback, honestly. So many quarterback changes throughout the years. Like, I feel sorry for Browns fans, but hey, you got the Cavs and the Indians. So those are two things that you got to be proud of. Moving on, going to be talking about the Raiders, the Buccaneers game. And Derek Carr dominated throughout that game. 40-59 complete passes, throwing for 513 yards, 4 touchdowns. And they won 30-23, even though the Raiders got 23 penalties, which is something unheard of today. Just unbelievable. The Raiders looks like they're going to be in the postseason, no doubt. This is their best start since 2002. Just overall, I mean, they play their hearts out. And Derek Carr has showed that he's a doable quarterback and a threat to any other team. Tonight's game is going to be the Falcons against the Buccaneers. Now, I got Matt Ryan on fantasy. He's currently leading the NFL in passing yards. So, let's see what happens tonight. And for any other fantasy owner who has Ryan, you need fantasy points. It'll be great. Okay, the last thing on my list, we're going to be talking about boxing. The next fight coming up is going to be this Saturday. We're going to have Manny Pacquiano fighting Jesse Vargas. Pacquiano comes in at 58-6-2, and Vargas comes in at 27-1. Pacquiano's last fight was on April 9th. He defeated Timothy Bradley by unanimous decision, going 12 rounds. Now, I hope to view that fight. So, let's see where it goes. Alright, well, that concludes this episode of JGait Sports Talk. I'm going to be back with more. Before I leave, I just want to say, once again, congrats to the Cubs. They were too legit to quit. I give a lot of praise for the way they played their hearts out. And I forgot to mention this, but they had a rain delay. Jason Hayward basically got the team together and said, we're going to stick together and try and play our hearts out. Just phenomenal. Give a lot of credit. Alright. And I'm going to close out by playing you one of my favorite all-time old-school hip-hop songs. And see you next time on JGait Sports Talk. Peace out, everyone.